am more than happy now that finally in this SOPA there's pronunciation of employment of social workers. That was what was eating me since I joined this department of unemployed social workers, where they were taken to universities and get qualification by this very government. But unfortunately, we could not absorb them because of shrinking fiscus. But the pronunciation of today, it revives my hope that we are going to deal with gender-based violence if we want to have foot soldiers on the ground, our social workers. And I'm sure this pronunciation is because of the pronunciation by the president that declared EGBV as a disaster. Hence, provinces are forced to make something. Because for me, I was saying, Premier, if you pronounce as a disaster, if there's no employment of social workers in your speech, there's no disaster. If there's no DNA laboratory testing centers that are more in our province, there's no disaster. If there are no more Tutela centers in our provinces, there's no disaster to me. So I am over the moon. And in particular, having social workers in schools, because now we've learned that there's a lot of gender-based violence in our schools. Teachers sleeping with school kids. As a result, we couldn't get the percentage that we targeted ourselves last year of 87 because about 34 educators were involved in these things and were suspended. About a number of kids that they need help and healed. So I was saying, if we're going to have social workers in each and every school, that is going to work good for us. And for me in particular, as a rat, I was so excited when the Premier pronounced that. And I'm looking forward to the speech of the budget speech where the MEC will indicate how much is it giving us. Because I've got 1,500 social workers educated for us, but they're unemployed. So I'm hoping the budget speech of MEC Mvoko will give also a positive report on that matter so that we push our workers. And I'm hoping abantwana bamamele the good news. They've been crying, some trying to commit suicide because they've been unemployed. So I'm saying, hold on. Premier has pronounced there's a light through the tunnel.
Now, just one last question. The issue of visible policing has also been at the center of the topics brought forward by the Premier of the Eastern Cape. How do you feel about the fact that there's now visible policing that's obviously being pushed through, and also the presence of soldiers in trying to garner a society that obviously has a lot less gender-based violence and a lot less criminality that affects women and children more especially?
Thank you very much. The here to stay of NIU and TRT and soldiers on top of that, it is quite something for our province. Amtata, because poor women have got cows and goats that are trying to make a living. But all of a sudden in the evening, someone will come and say, Puma ifuna spam, and they take away all the flock. So these TRT soldiers are going to help our people because that they survive because of their flocks. But now that there was a threat, now that these thugs were just pointing gun on them. But the TRT Premier that he said is here to stay in Eastern Cape, who are over the moon. That at least the safety and security of our people. And the cases of gender-based violence are going to be speeded up because we must, the delay of this gender-based violence is justice delayed, it's justice denied. So we're hoping we're going to speed up the issue of our safety.
Ms. Bukiwe Fanta, thank you so much for your time here at the Voice Lounge. We really do appreciate the time that you've given to us, and we hope to see you again next time.
Thank you very much, Sasaswa.
That is the MEC of Social Development, Ms. Bukiwe Fanta, talking to us at large about how the speech of the Premier has really impacted her portfolio in a significant way, and the plans that are in place really seek to improve things in as far as gender-based violence and other issues that affect broader society. Over to you guys in studio.
The Voice Lounge. where voices come to life.